Disclaimer from the very beginning. A lot of you are not going to like what I'm going to say. Just know that I am not saying it out of hate for you in any way, shape, or form. I am saying this out of love because I actually do care about you, and I want you to get this message. To the people who, for the most part, actually listen to me and realize that the issues themselves were not black and white, you people kept me sane. This is not to you. This is somewhat a thanks to you people because you kept me sane and you were my rock. So I'd like to say thank you. And lastly, I know it's going to be hard to sit through and listen to, but I promise you, at the end of it, you will feel better. Here we are. Trump has won the election. A lot of you are completely losing your crap. Some of you are moderately losing your crap, and some are low tier losing your crap. To all of you, I would like to say, first of all, why didn't you fucking listen to me? To actually explain how this happened to you, I have to explain to you my journey in this whole thing. Um, as some of you know and may not know, I was heavily involved with the whole Gamergate, I guess you could call it fiasco, whatever, where we started questioning how the media was portraying things and lying in the gaming industry. And the entirety of the media labeled us as misogynists, as racist, as homophobes, and as pedophiles. Even as we donated $70,000 to help create one woman's vision for a video game, even as we donated 20 something thousand dollars to help rape victims in prison bring their rapists to justice, even though they themselves were behind bars, and various other charities, food drives, Make-A-Wish, all kinds of things we're involved in helping people. We were admittedly a small group of maybe, I'd say, around 100,000 people, give or take, who, in all honesty, were of different ideologies, different political backgrounds, different races, different sexual orientations, different everything, who managed to come together and fight for this singular cause, no matter how we were portrayed in the media, because they had lied to us and we were going to punish them for it. Our entire goal was to discredit them completely, which we have been successful. But it made all of us pay attention. You see, there's always this bit of naivete, this innocence in us that we believe the people that are telling us something aren't being disingenuous. And because of Gamergate, that was broken in every way, shape, or form for me. I had white people calling me coon, calling me house nigger, just because I felt that certain corruption should be looked at. These weren't just random people in crowds and random, these were journalists and writers for websites that have heavy traffic and, million and billion dollar companies calling me a monster because I challenged them. And some of you listened to me and listened to what I went through. But the majority of you ignored everything that was going on. When I talked about Black Lives Matter, their problems, and how I was a part of the movement originally, until I saw who was running it and I saw the cash grabs happening, I saw those leaders basically asking for money and then walking away. All of them have you know left the movement completely now that they've all gotten paid. D-Ray, Sean King, all of these people, they go away from it now. I warned you about all of them. I tried to warn everybody, and I was threatened physically. I got threatening phone calls. Had I had people in public threaten me physically just because if I was against Black Lives Matter or I didn't agree with some of the things they were doing, I was a racist. As people were dying in the streets and cops were dying and violence was happening, I didn't have the right to say that this was wrong. And I'd like to tell you I'm the person that didn't vote for Hillary. You see, in your fervor of thinking you're in the right side of history, you forgot you might be wrong. No one is right 100% of the time. And so you got cocky. I voted for Obama. I cried the night that he won. I was that happy because I thought change was coming. The change that I wanted was coming. I stood with you. And then I watched as Obamacare became a bill that was written by insurance companies that in no way made them lose money, but instead made it mandatory for everybody to buy insurance from a system that was already corrupt, bloated, and hurting us for money. It didn't lower the cost of prescription drugs. It didn't lower the cost of anything. It just made it so every one of us had to pay, except for the people who are getting a free ride. And yes, you can argue, well, you should want to help these people who are getting the free ride. Yeah, but we should also fight the people who are gouging everyone. And that's your mistake. You'll complain ad nauseum now that Trump has won that for the most part, you can't understand that people don't care about your political issues, your pet issues, the ones that you care about, while simultaneously ignoring and mocking their suffering for 8 years. I would like you to leave the cities, go to any town outside of a major city, and just look around, man. Main Street is boarded up. There are no jobs, there is no work, and you are going to sit there and try and shame a human being who's watching his community get swallowed up by meth addiction because there's no work. You expect that human being to care about your pet issues more than their survival. I watched you mock, ridicule, and throw hate at people. Pretension became your flag. And I know this because I stood with you. I did some of this. It makes me sick to my stomach how much I stood with you and demoralized people and dehumanized people. You did this for years. We did this for years. So fuck you. Fuck you for thinking this is a surprise. You made your echo chamber. I saw how you treated people who disagreed with you. I saw how you treated me. Me being black, me being Native American didn't mean shit as soon as I disagreed with you on anything. For people who want to bring up and shout out black and Native Americans and minority voices and people who have been oppressed, I didn't mean shit. the moment I disagreed. You showed me where my worth was, how much you actually cared. And I went through this for years. It nearly broke me. And even now, it's like, oh, those fucking white people, you're doing it again. How is anybody supposed to come together and change when your immediate response is all those fucking white people? What about the white people who voted the same way with you? I haven't seen a single non-white person say and yell at white people that white people are horrible. Imagine fucking that. I keep having to remind you, hey, you do realize you're white, right? You don't speak for me, and you don't speak for them, and they don't speak for you because you forgot the individual. Even now, it's like, oh, this is what a Trump supporter is like. No, it's not. That person is horrible. That poor person is a piece of shit. And I'm pretty sure if you showed Trump supporters the way he was acting, they'd be like, that guy is off his rocker. They'd think he's just as fucked up as you. But you won't do that because it's more comfortable for you to confirm your bias and say, hey, that's all Trump supporters, so I don't have to listen to anything they say. And so you closed yourself off. Anybody that disagreed with you, you either shouted into silence or you cut them out of your lives. Man, I lost one of the few people in this world I respected, who I thought was sane, who kept me up when I was probably in one of the lowest points of my life. Say that anybody who's on the fence and anybody who's independent and not voting for Hillary is stupid. And the first comment I put underneath was, you sound like what a Republican would sound like years ago. And they deleted my comment. And then I comment, please don't delete my comments. Well, my comment was apparently mean to them. And anybody who disagrees with them should unfriend. This was a person that I respected, a person who changed my life, a person that I no longer can associate with because of misconceptions, because of confirmation bias. Because you told an entire nation of people who are struggling and hurting that they should care more about gay marriage than having a job, than being able to eat. Man, I remember when I first saw the video of somebody smashing up Trump's star on the Walk of Fame. Destruction of property is okay, yeah, whatever, protest, blah, blah, blah. I really didn't think much of it. I figured somebody was going to do something dumb like that doesn't actually solve things and actually makes your side look bad. Then I watched the video of the next day, or I think a few days after, because they replaced the star. And there was a homeless black woman trying to keep people from destroying the star now that it was back. And they attacked her. They pulled her down and dragged her off the star. Your ideology, your confirmation biases can make you do monstrous things. You're supposed to be the progressives. You're supposed to care about the little guy. And here I see a crowd of people dragging a homeless woman down to the ground because she disagrees. A homeless black woman. For fuck's sake. Stop pretending like people on your side weren't doing monstrous things. For fuck's sake, Lena Dunham wrote in her book how she molested her sister. And it was like, oh, well, she was 11, but she said she did it for years. Was she innocent when she was a teenager, when she was older? Waved off. Pay no attention. She's not a monster. It's okay. She's one of us. And I see this bitch at the Democratic National Convention giving a speech talking down to people. Pushing that her and her ilk are superior to everybody else. Are you fucking kidding me? Look it up. A week ago, she was talking about how we should remove all straight white men from any kind of position or seat of power, and we should remove white straight men completely. How in the fuck are you surprised that you lost this election? Are they supposed to vote for that? Or are they supposed to co-sign? Yes, I'm okay with my genocide and losing all of my power as a human being. Holy shit! I was a Bernie supporter, man. I was a part of the guard. I talked to people. I believed in him, man. You're pissed off now, but were you upset when she was buying absolutely every single fucking superdelegate in every single state? When you see states entirely go to Bernie and the superdelegates still vote with her? That's the only way she won, and you know it. You know it. Because you won't talk about it. You won't touch on that subject, you fucking coward. You won't. You won't bring up just how much corruption and just general just hypocrisy there is in the Democratic side. She stole the primary from him. Stole it! And you could shit on WikiLeaks all you want, but you know it's true. Because you were big fans of WikiLeaks when he was outing the Bush administration for shit. But when it's your side, all of a sudden he can't be trusted. Oh, he's working for Russia and these are Russian links. You stupid shits. John Podesta's email password was password. And he lost his phone regularly. A 12-year-old edgy teenage fucking kid could have found that phone and got into our country's secrets and got a hold of those emails. For fuck's sake, Hillary Clinton had her Mexican maid printing out classified information from her emails to her. It was a fucking joke. And you hand waved it. You hand waved it like the other side will hand wave some of Trump's faults. They will. Admittedly, they will. They will. You are absolutely right. But don't you dare pretend that you don't do the same damn thing. You're a hypocrite. That's why you're so angry. That's why you're so mad. Because you know this is your fault. If you had fought during the the media didn't fucking cover the fact that half of the Democratic National Convention walked the fuck out when they announced Hillary. Walked out of the building. Empty seats, remember? You don't remember that? Do you remember the protests outside that the media stopped covering, that they refused to cover? You didn't pay attention to the fact that they were donating millions upon millions to Hillary's campaign, along with the fucking Saudis. So don't tell me she was the candidate for women. Don't even get me started on that shit. You in no way get to call yourself the candidate for fucking women when you take money from a country that would lash a woman who speaks out of turn. At best. Don't you look at what Sharia law is before you pretend like you know anything about fundamentalist Islam. Oh yeah, the worst things of the Bible that you talk about in sexism, yeah, they're trying to make that law now everywhere. She took 25 million from the Saudis alone. Qatar, I think it was like 5 or 10. I think the same way. You ignored Barack Obama ordering drone strikes. You know how many innocent people died, innocent children that were caught in those explosions? Has the Obama administration continued almost all of the Bush policies and added that little gem in there? How they funded the rebels that later became ISIS? This isn't some conspiracy. We know this happened. Those were the rebels that took out Gaddafi, remember? That's who ISIS is. She gave them guns and she gave them money. And I can say without a doubt right now, there is a woman most likely getting raped, possibly gang raped, and possibly to death because of Hillary Clinton. But all of a sudden, she's because she has a vagina, she has a heart. Fuck you. She embodied everything wrong with the left in the DNC. Everything. And you fell in line anyway. You said, whatever, this will do. We can't possibly lose. The media would never lie to us. It was a joke. They'd say it's about ethics and journalism to mock us because it couldn't be about anything else. Well, congratulations. It was about ethics and journalism. Every poll lied to you. Every pollster, every TV station lied to you. Lied. Trump is a shit human being. Yeah, you went on that. But there was a lot of shit they also made up. There was a lot of shit they insinuated. Even now, they're claiming, well, why won't Trump talk about these KKK members that are celebrating his win? Because the last time he brought up a KKK member was when one tried to pop up at one of his rallies and he got his ass kicked by a black Trump supporter. And Trump was like, yeah, get him. And they called him violent in the news for inciting. They said, oh, he's inciting violence. Couldn't win. Your ego, all of it, led to this. You did this to these people. Even now, you're not learning your lesson. Look at the electoral map of who voted for Trump and who voted for Hillary. The cities voted for Hillary and nobody else. Nobody else. You dehumanized everybody else that didn't think to you. And now some dude with blue hair sipping a fucking latte on his iPhone complaining about capitalism is upset that the peasants didn't go his way. Jesus Christ, man. I don't want you to lose like this. I want you to win right. I want you to be what the Democrats and the liberals should be, for fuck's sake. So I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to tell you how you fix this. And then I'm probably never going to talk about this on Facebook ever again. And I'm going to post on Facebook who I am and to your friends who I am. Watch how quickly somebody doxes me. Watch how quickly I get a phone call telling me to shut up. You'll see. You need to look at yourself. You see, while you weren't paying attention, I watched something very interesting happen during this election. You see, after the Orlando shooting, where a radical Islamic Muslim decided to gun down people at a gay bar because fuck it, homosexuals, Islam's the best. And there was a resurgence of people buying guns, but they were gay men. You see, you became the very thing that you shouted against in terms of your racism and bigotry towards people. And so you broke barriers and bridges on the others, and that you wouldn't think would happen. You saw black people and Mexicans and Muslims for Trump that would talk to Trump supporters. These middle American people who were told by their media that just because they're black, just because they're Mexican, just because of all of these differences, that they hated them too. And they realized it wasn't like that. Are there racist Trump supporters? Yeah. Duh. But they're racist Hillary supporters too. You're forgetting that she called me a super predator in the 90s and she fought against gay marriage until, what was it, 2013? No, she fought until 2006, but didn't go pro until 13, if I remember correctly. But they started to learn that they weren't alone. That's why there was so much push for him. Only 25% of the Republicans supported Trump, which means he got people to vote for him that weren't Republicans. Hell, only half the people who were registered to vote even voted in this election. If you look at his actual win and his votes, he got less votes than Romney. Less votes than Romney, but still won. But look at Hillary's votes. 10 million drop from Obama winning his first election to now. 10 million people. I'd like you to ask if those 10 million people who voted for Barack Obama are racist, sexist, homophobes. I want you to ask if they're the monsters you want to say they are. I want you to reach out and I want you to talk to people. I want you to drop your misconceptions and I want you to bring people in. Because more often than not, people are willing to listen to your concerns if you're willing to listen to theirs. I bet money you can get the most low-life redneck in the country to be okay with gay marriage if you only treated them like a human being. I screamed. But now you need to scream. You need to scream at your own. You need to hold them in check. Because the riots, and they are riots now, have actually taken lives at this point. A cop died. Don't hand wave it. Calm people down. Talk to people. You need to fix this because this is your fault. It is. It's our fault. And I wish with everything in me I had realized it sooner. Which is why when I was in that voting box, I looked at our presidential candidates and I looked at Hillary and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I wasn't above it. And you're not above it either. You're a flawed human being too, and I want you to remember that. And I want you to actually live and act peaceful and just stop preaching it only. It's time to heal. And you can be mad all you want, but no more Republicans voted. He got no more votes than any other Republican candidate would have. You drove people away. You drove me away, insinuating that I'm unintelligent because I disagree with you, or I don't trust your sources when I was burned harder than anybody else in terms of those very sources as well. They lie about me. Why wouldn't they lie about something else? Question. Become the new media. Fact check, research. Talk to people. Don't make them afraid anymore. Don't act out of fear. I love you. And I need you to love other people. Good night and good luck.